Which brings up a question that Kyle and I were talking about yesterday. When we do something like this, he has to expend man hours, gas, fuel, other items that reduces his budget from future paving projects. So when they pay us for this, does this replenish that budget that gets used, or where does the money come from when they pay for this?
So when they reimburse us, then we just receipt the money into Road and Bridges Fund, and unless we open the budget, it doesn't give us additional budget authority.
Okay, so just, again, so I'm understanding, if his budget is, let's just say $10,000 and he spends $5,000 on this project, that $5,000 for additional county projects is now gone, or,
Yes.
okay.
Unless we open the budget.
Right. So what we can do, if we know about these things ahead of time, we can anticipate it through the budget process, kind of like we do for other items. We can anticipate the revenue coming in, and we can increase the budget. Now, you're never going to increase the labor because the labor's the labor.
Right, right.
But as far as...
I was more concerned about the consumables like we talked about, that his gas budget gets consumed, his budget, tire budget and all that gets consumed, but we don't have a way.
Those items, we could open the budget and then put money back in there for that. $25,000 for his budget really isn't significant in the road and bridge budget. You want to go there?
No, and like Christy said, I think what I'll try to do is with these cities and stuff, if they have a project coming up, that we try to get on kind of getting that idea put together before we go through that budget process, so we can say, hey, this next coming year we're looking at doing this project for this city.
And then what I would do is be able to inflate the budget, because we'd have that revenue to offset it. It's like what we do with the event center, or the sheriff's office when they do overtime for concerts.
Right.
We increase the budget
Right,
for
they
the
project-
overtime,
they project
and I
that.
budget for the revenue.
Right.
So there negates
Okay.
the overall effect. But-
So it's a little different this year, but
Yeah.
we can
Okay.
get better.
Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
So, but if it were to become common practice, then we could anticipate that. Otherwise, if this gets done, are you gonna do that
I don't know, we'll see the weather. We're hoping to even be able to pave Pidcock, just because it's supposed to be rain and then it's supposed to go cold, so we don't know, and I don't think it's a big thing to income if we get it done this fall or
I
not.
noticed, I saw the one email I got said that they just soon, the spring.
Yeah. So I don't.
When does the batch plant close and when does it open in the spring?
It's pretty close to, it depends. They'll leave it if they've got somebody that's gonna take enough material, they'll keep trying to make it, but the trucks traveling and stuff like that, it just cools it off too much for us to be able to, even if you're 45 degrees and rising, your material might not get to the project warm enough. So we're hoping for the best for Pidcock anyway. We are in the process of, we have most all of the dirt work done. We're doing a little bit of shoulder work right now. We have fence lined up, seating lined up, and guardrail lined up in the next week. So we might not get it paved this fall, but it'll be all safe and secured, and we'll get it in our pave season next year.
And on projects like this, if we do those early, then we'll get the money early enough. That gives us a better option to be able to open the budget if we need to, because normally we do that process in late August, 1st of September. So if we can be strategic about it, then if he needs that $25,000, then we'll have it to open.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that.
One thing we do need to probably just in the future is we need to probably get together and have I drove up Pidcock Road, went and checked out, well, I didn't drive up it because it was blocked, but I came in from the top. I heard that all of that second phase that we approved, all those lots are sold. Hal said they already had 5 building permits in, and it's going, we really need to have a conversation about Green Canyon Road is the next one over. If with all those lots and houses going, we need to start talking about the next 10 years on that road and what's going to happen with the subdivision and everything. That road that's the only road in the county when it's horrible weather and it's snowing like mad. That's the busiest road in the county because everybody's going skiing. And so we really do need to have a conversation about where are we gonna go in the next 10 and 20 years on that road, safety-wise. If
Well,
they-
we're looking at some shoulder work and stuff, but we're already, like, that road's already 12-foot lanes. And so it's built for a lot of traffic. It's a higher elevation, and it's not the best case scenario for a road, but we're looking at a little bit of work on the shoulders to make things better.
I would say some shoulder work, some straightening in some areas if you can, you might have to cut, and possibly going to a third lane in some areas for turning purposes and other things that way. Lighting, warning lights, any of those intersections, we probably should have some of the stuff that we get some flashers going on, because that's gonna be one of the, and people that do not know how to drive on winter roads, or they think they do, and they get up on that road going skiing, and then they try and stop coming down that road, and they slide all the way down to the bottom.
Well, that's gonna be a conversation piece, is because now we're gonna put residents up there. And
Yes.
we're gonna block that road off to plow it before the ski lift opens up. I mean, that's the practice, correct?
Mhm.
I mean, usually you shut that road down, but
Can't do that anymore.
you're gonna have 50 residents up there coming off the hill to go to school, or,
Yeah.
Or more. Because, I mean, you get those two just those two subdivisions, there's 89 lots, or 90 lots is what it is, plus what's already up there, plus there's people I've heard that are looking at developing, I mean, they're talking 600 lots up there in the next 2 years. So there's, I mean, that's just,
Yeah.
and to
And there
tell you the
is
truth,
gonna need to be different improvements. One of the biggest things we're looking at right now is the maintenance end, you know, for winter wise, is gonna drastically change.
well, and what can we do to help
the
with
worst
that?
part of that road, though, is above Bonneville.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. Well, and the other discussion it goes back to is kind of the fiber discussion that we have going on right now, is that if we're gonna start widening and doing shoulder work, is there a way that we can get in line where we can start burying conduit? Going with it?
Okay,
But that's
let's
different
come
discussion.
back onto the agenda.
Okay. Next.
All right, a motion on this agreement with Income.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the agreement as presented with the City of Income and for the Road and Bridge Department to pave the indicated stretch of road.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously.
Next, we have an older unit. For our AC recovery unit that we use on the vehicles. We had so many new vehicles and different types of conditioning that we use in each of these vehicles that we did purchase a new one. It's been great. It's saving us money from trying to have to take it to other places when we need to do that service. But we have our old one, and we were looking at, should we auction it, dispose of it, because it's not in the best shape. So we took a look at it and talked to ISU, and they thought that they could use something like that for training purposes. So we were looking at, we'd like to donate it to ISU.
I think that's a good idea.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the donation of the old air conditioner machine to ISU's diesel technology program.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
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 Passes unanimously.
I understand you spoke with Mr. Treasurer yesterday?
We did.
Good.
You talked to the colonel?
He's my neighbor. He's a good guy. Yes, we did. I think we got some options.
Good.
Going there.
Good.
Last but not least, we'd like to purchase a side dump trailer. We had this budgeted.
Mostly?
Only 2,500 short.
In his budget, that's nothing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I saved some on the water tank,
you go.
remember?
There you go.
No, it's actually, prices, we're finding out even trying to purchase anything. There's a few items that were available that we're trying to get on, and there's a lot that we don't know if we're gonna even be able to purchase this year, just because of the computer chips and all the fun stuff going on, but This one was a pretty good item that we found. It was actually cheaper than some of the quotes we got, and it was already being bid through Caribou. They got 2 of them, and so we just thought that would be great, and we hopped on as a piggyback with Caribou.
Okay.
Use this for paving, or what do you use this for?
So a lot of times when we use bigger rock or
Yes.
around culverts or different things, it's not good to use our own trucks. It beats them up too much. So we've rented in the past, but we can also use it for shouldering and stuff like that, because when you can tip on the side, then you can just go right down the road and it
Okay.
lays it right in. So it can haul sand, it can do all the same hauling, but it's got a little better dump technique.
Yep.
They've rented one for as long as I've been here every year
Yeah.
Yeah.
during the summer.
Mis-
Been on your wish list for a while.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the authorization of the purchase of the side dump trailers presented.
You have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously.
It's been on Rowdy's wish list for a
Well,
lot of years.
Wait until you have really big rocks in the back of your dump truck and you go to dump them and it literally will bend the bed off.
Yeah, that's why we've always just rented, because,
So you took a picture.
I took a picture of whoever's calling, dang Scott, he's doing that on purpose. It's just that, and then the damage, even just trying to, even though you set them in as nice as you can, it just damages the trucks up, so.